The first time I saw the photo, my hands went numb. It wasn't a random picture, not some mistake in my camera roll. It was a screenshot, one I'd apparently taken weeks ago and buried somewhere deep in my phone. In it, Jason was kissing someone. Not just anyone. It was me. And yet, my stomach churned as though I was the stranger in that image. Because the photo wasn't just of a stolen kiss, it was proof of what I'd done. What I'd destroyed. It was the morning of my wedding. 3 months earlier, when Jason and I met our wedding planner, I remember thinking he was too perfect for the job. Daniel was calm, charming, unflappable. He could soothe chaos with a smile, smooth over disagreements, make every dream detail sound possible. Jason adored him. "He's a lifesaver," he'd said after our first meeting, his arm draped over my shoulder. "See, I told you hiring a professional would take the stress off you." Except it didn't. It made everything worse. Because every late-night call about floral themes, every tasting, every visit to the venue ended with me sitting across from Daniel, noticing how his voice softened when he said my name. How he listened, not just to my words, but to everything I didn't say. And I'd been so tired of not being heard. Jason was the kind of man who loved loudly but lived distracted. His work came first, always. He'd text me meeting times while I texted about wedding dresses. He'd forget I hated lilies and choose them for the centerpiece. It wasn't malicious, just distant. 1,000 small cuts that didn't bleed until they did. Daniel, meanwhile, noticed everything. He remembered I preferred green tea over coffee, that I hummed when nervous, that I touched my necklace when something upset me. The night it happened, it wasn't planned. We were finalizing seating charts at the venue. Jason had cancelled last minute, claiming a client emergency. The rain outside blurred the city lights into streaks of gold and silver. Daniel brought wine. "You look tired," he said. I laughed, though my voice cracked. I feel like I'm marrying a man who doesn't even see me anymore." His eyes softened. "Then maybe he doesn't deserve you." The silence after that felt heavier than the rain. When he reached out and brushed his thumb against my cheek, I didn't pull away. And when I kissed him, I convinced myself it meant nothing. A moment of weakness. A mistake. But the next morning, I woke up with his shirt on my floor and my heart split in two. I thought I could bury it. Pretend it was never real. Jason never suspected anything. He was too busy, too trusting. The guilt ate me alive, but I wore it like perfume, layered under makeup and smiles. Daniel tried to act normal, but there were cracks. A hand brushing mine too long during meetings. A look that lingered. Then came the text. 2 weeks before the wedding. "We need to talk. I can't watch you marry him." I ignored it. Told myself he'd calm down. But he didn't. He started calling at odd hours, showing up to fittings he wasn't scheduled for. The tension between us grew, visible to anyone paying attention. Including Jason. The night before the wedding, Jason confronted me. He was quiet, too quiet, the way people are when they already know the truth. "Is there something you want to tell me?" he asked. I froze. "What do you mean?" He held up his phone. There it was, the photo. Me and Daniel. In the dim light of the venue, kissing like we belonged to each other. I forgot Daniel had taken a photo that night. He'd said it was for a client concept. I never thought he'd keep it. Jason's voice shook. I saw the timestamp. 3 weeks after we hired him. "I'm so sorry," I whispered, my chest collapsing. "It was one night. I didn't mean." He slammed his fist against the wall. "You didn't mean to sleep with our wedding planner." His voice cracked, raw. "You ruined everything, Claire." I tried to reach him, but he stepped back. "The wedding's tomorrow. You decide what to do. Either I walk away quietly, or we go through with it and no one knows. But I will never love you the same again." Morning came with the weight of a confession unspoken. My reflection looked like a ghost in the bridal mirror. White dress, hollow eyes, trembling lips. Guests filled the pews. Jason stood at the altar, his expression carved from stone. And Daniel stood nearby, pretending to adjust the floral arch. Our eyes met for half a second, and the air turned suffocating. As the music began, My pulse thundered in my ears. Every step felt like sinking deeper into quicksand. When I reached Jason, he didn't smile. His jaw was tight, eyes glassy. The officiant began speaking. But before I could repeat my vows, Jason turned to Daniel. "Tell them," he said. The church went silent. Daniel froze. His face drained of color. "Jason, please. Tell them what you did." My heart stopped. Jason pulled out his phone, showing the photo to everyone. Gasps rippled through the room like breaking glass. "She cheated," he said, voice shaking. "With him." The priest stuttered, uncertain. My mother covered her mouth. Daniel took a step back, but it was too late. The truth had already poisoned the air. Jason turned to me one last time. "You wanted a perfect wedding, Claire? Congratulations. You got the show of your life." He walked out. And I stood there, bouquet trembling in my hands, surrounded by whispers that sounded like knives. I never saw Jason again after that day. He sold the apartment, blocked my number, erased every trace of me. Daniel moved to another city, or so I heard. Sometimes, I still dream of that moment, standing in front of everyone, veil trembling, shame burning hotter than any love I'd ever felt. It's strange how one night can shatter everything you thought you were. Because now, when I look at the photo that started it all, I don't see love. I see two people mistaking loneliness for connection. And the ghost of a woman who learned too late that betrayal doesn't always come from others. Sometimes, it starts with yourself.